Good morning guys, welcome back to day 2 of the daily vlog. Just gone about 7 AM here in Bondi. Just having a quick stop, taking in the views of the beach, and then we'll get up to the North Bondi golf course where we were last night for sunset and just do a bit of a photo shoot. I've got the tripod, I've got a few ND filters, so we're going to head up there, do some sort of long exposure photography. Head up there for the next hour and we'll do a bit of a shoot on the cliff. Alright, we're on the golf course. Such a beautiful view. Check that out. Whew. This is stunning though. Oh, what a view, what a beauty. Bondi golf course. I love this spot. My favourite spot in Bondi. Alright, let's get set up for the camera. This is the lens we're using today, 24-70 Gmaster f2.8 Sony lens. That's set up on the Sony. Get it up on the tripod. I think we got one photo. Sunlight is too harsh here, so I was aiming the camera down there. So you've got the ocean on the left hand side with all the frothiness, and then you've got the cliffs on the right hand side. I think it works pretty well. Sick views. Absolutely love this location. Bondi is such a beautiful place, especially when you walk up and you kind of explore it a little bit. Like, you know, if you're a tourist here coming to Bondi, or you're a backpacker, traveler, you know, you're only here for a short while, you'll probably go down to the beach, you'll probably, you know, do Bondi Icebergs, you'll probably do the coastal walk. I recommend if you do the coastal walk to Coogee, you know, the next time you're doing it, go the other way and walk up towards Watson's Bay. It's a much nicer walk as well. It's just less people do it. I don't know why. Come onto the golf course, you can come and explore this little bit here. It's super quiet, like no one will bother you. They don't mind people coming onto the golf course. Good for photography, good for sunsets, good for sunrise. Absolutely perfect. And then, you probably won't be able to see it, but like further on up there, that's like Central Coast. So you can actually see the whole coastline. There's a couple of lighthouses down there. There's the Watson Bay Lighthouse. So yeah, if you're a tourist coming to Bondi, just don't stick with like the usual beach area, icebergs area. You can come and explore and just like come and find things. You'll be pleasantly surprised at what you discover in Bondi. Like, I love this place. I've lived here for about a year now. So yeah, that's just like a little tip if you're like backpacker traveler and you're only here for like a week or so, you know, maybe a month. There's just so much to explore. So yeah, get out of Bondi Beach area and like come up the north end. But yeah, that's that. Let's get back home. Get stuck into some office work. It's my last day because tomorrow I'm off work. It's Friday tomorrow and we're heading to Uluru. So Bree's coming today. We're flying to Uluru tomorrow. Can't wait. Gonna vlog it. Gonna shoot it. Gonna have so much fun. Let's get home, guys. And we're home, 9 AM, getting logged on for work. Let's go. I'll just have a quick coffee, then we'll jump back on, do a few more emails. I've got a couple of things to do. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump into Lightroom and Photoshop and edit one of the shots that I took this morning up at the golf course. To walk you through what I do in Lightroom, what I do in Photoshop. Let's jump into it then. I think there's probably one good shot that I like. Recently I've been editing photos which they're quite moody, really desaturating the skies and then putting a slight magenta tinge on the skies. So I go into RA here and then we'll pop back into the photo that we're gonna edit. First things first, let's adjust for the exposure. Bring out some of the details here in the shadows. That's just a quick exposure correction. Before we do anything else, you always want to enable profile corrections because that actually corrects for the lens that you're shooting on. And I'm shooting on a Sony 24-70, so it corrects the vignetting and it also takes that slight bulge away out of the photo. Back to the tone curve, so I usually put a medium contrast on there. Brings a bit more depth and darkness into the shadows, makes the saturation go up a little bit. And then what I'll do is I'll desaturate the blues, suck out all of that color. Actually, you've got a lot of aqua and greens here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change those so they're more blue because I don't want any of that aqua colors. I'm going to change these blues in a bit. I want to make them a more of a dark, deeper blue. Happy with that. Then I want to jump into the sky here. So what I'll do is I'll put another graduated gradient filters, whatever you want to call it. I want to desaturate, put a little bit of magenta, like that pinky magenta color there, just into the sky.
So to me that's looking good. What we want to do here is we want to edit out the ocean. So the ocean right now is looking a bit green, it's looking a bit dark. I want to match it up to this nice blue ocean. First things first, I want to remove any effect on the sky. So that's the mask applied to the ocean there, and then we will take that off so we can see it. And then I'll start off by desaturating it, and maybe bring the brightness up slightly, and then we'll bring these whites down because we don't want them getting too white at the moment. And then we will bring in some blue, just those blues. Looks nice. We can maybe desaturate a bit more, bring up the exposure. Maybe we'll cool it down to see how that affects the colors. It's starting to look good. I'm actually liking how that blue's looking on the white froth. Look, I'm pretty happy with that for now. So what I'll do is I'll leave it as it is. I'm gonna make some adjustments on these rocks. So I'm not really enjoying how the rocks look yellow and green. It doesn't really work well with the blues and sky. We will throw in another graduated layer. So we'll desaturate it, see how those rocks now. See, that looks much better. Like, happy with that for now. What we'll do is we'll bring it into Photoshop and we will carry on the edit. First thing I want to do is add a new layer. So Shift Option Command N, Shift Option Command E. I like to add a Gaussian blur. Now, this is actually called, I don't know if you've heard of it before, but it's called the Horton effect. So the Horton effect bleeds the highlights and shadows in together, so it gives a nice, smooth, dreamy kind of image. I don't like to go too heavy on it. I'll add a very subtle Horton effect. So you want to match the pixels to the megapixels of your camera. So I believe the Sony A7riii is about 42, so that works well, 41.6. And then you'll go into your image tab here, Adjustments, Levels, and bring the highlights down a little bit, bring your mid-tones up. So you can see on the left there, it's starting to get more contrasty. Okay. Now, obviously that image, it looks like you've put a pair of like your granny's glasses on. You want to go into opacity here and bring the opacity down to 0. Brings the photo back to normal. And then what I do is I bring it to about 10, turn it on and off and see how it looks. See that subtle change there? Very subtle. It has a really nice effect on the frothiness there. Bleeds in. Let's have a look. You can kind of see the rocks, which are more of a mid-tony shadow against the whites, so just here and here. You can kind of see it blending in a bit, so it gives it more of a wavy, whooshy, dreamy kind of effect. Select all my layers next, and then hit Command G, and that groups them, and then what that allows you to do is just turn them on and off, just to kind of give you a before and after. Happy with that? Exit on your top left, save, and that brings it straight back into Lightroom for you. You add another tone curve, so another medium contrast. Pull down the blues, tonal curve in the sky, just making some final touches. That's what it looked like when it came back in from Photoshop, and that's what it looks now.
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. That was just a run through of my editing process. For me, it's just for Instagram, so I can kind of bit more of a creative control on what I do and how I edit the photo. I'm pretty new with the software, always trying to learn new things. So if you're brand new to the program, hopefully this helped you a little bit. Kind of gives you an idea of an editing process. And look, if you are new to Lightroom and Photoshop, the first time I used it, I just had no idea what I was doing. I was just like playing around with the sliders, just some of my first edits were crazy looking. Like, I look back on them and they were wild. I remember editing those like when I just got Lightroom and thinking, oh wow, this looks incredible, this looks really good. And when I look back at them now, they just look bizarre. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's the whole process. It's all a learning process, and it's fun as well, and your style changes over time. The hardest bit for me is getting a consistent style, which I really like. I look at some other people's and I'm like, wow, that's, it all really flows really well. So that's kind of what I'm working on. I have so much fun just getting out there and shooting. For me, getting out and shooting is the best part, going to the edge of a cliff, climbing up some trees, going to a new location, and just having an adventure with it as well. And then you have all these beautiful images that you bring back, you manipulate, edit, and share with your friends and your family. Alright guys, I'm gonna finish up the vlog for today. I actually have to head out. I'm going to the Banff Mountain Film Festival over in Surrey Hills. So Bree's on her way. We're going to jump straight in a taxi and then head over to the film festival. But that's the plan for the rest of the evening. So I hope you got some value out of the quick Lightroom and Photoshop edit. Hope you kind of learned something. If not, all good. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. So guys, if you are new to the channel, it is the first time you've watched one of my videos, hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, and that'll help me grow my YouTube channel. Alright guys, I'll catch you tomorrow.